All right, so there's a desperation that is apparent when it comes to the black family, wanting to restore the black community and sort of restore the black family. So I see a lot of people are talking about, I feel like a lot of the media plays on the desperation of single black women. A
I
lot
agree.
of
First of all, she mentioned two things. She mentioned like desperation and the black family. Now she's talking about desperation and single black women, which is what I'm going to address.
the marketing that we see play on the desperation of single black women. How do we counteract that? And how do we remove that desperation sort of out of our community and sort of restore more traditional principles?
Well, number one, as far as the
I'm sorry, guys, I don't really have a video for you because, first of all, I don't think that it's right for her to ask a man a question about women. If single black women are feeling desperate, then that is a woman's issue, that is a black woman's issue. You would have to ask a black woman, how can we get rid of this? Do I believe that a lot of black women are feeling a lot of single black women are feeling very desperate? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I would like to share with you how I was able to move myself through that. Obviously, I'm not going to say everything in this video, but I will talk about how I don't like keeping this image on the screen, how I started it. And if I can find something else we can watch, then I will share that with you here. So, what I did was I made the decision. The first thing was I made the decision that this feeling of like wanting, that it just wasn't going to be a part of me anymore because I realized it was detrimental. So I made the decision that I was going to remove it. The second thing I decided was that I was going to practice self love. I didn't know really what that was going to mean and how that was going to feel, you know. And thirdly, I made the decision that no matter how long it took, I was going to stick with it. Now, what I'm about to say, I'm not suggesting other people do it. I'm just telling you a huge part of how I was able to kind of heal myself and remove this feeling of desperation, and just focus on me and kind of my own happiness, which I believe is the apex of a happy relationship, is that each person take responsibility for their own happiness. Um, I went celibate. I went celibate, and it changed my whole life for the better. And I wrote a whole book about that too, you know. But I'm not here to force things on people. So if you want to know more about that book, my celibacy journey, you can leave me a thumbs up and I will put the link to that book in the description box. I wrote a book about my celibacy journey that I think will be very helpful to women because we want to know from somebody who's been through it. We want to know what that feels like physically, mentally, emotionally. Was I able to stick with it, etc. And I also wrote a book about my self-love journey. And yeah, I really want women to find self-love because I feel like I'm able to operate more from a balanced state of mind. You know, had I not gone celibate, had I not been on a self-love journey, there's no way I would even be doing this right now. There's no way. Because, you know, when you're not practicing self-love, you're constantly looking outside yourself for everything. And in this life, there's certain things that you can only get from yourself. So the fact that people give us this message like, oh, you know, you need a boyfriend, blah, 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 it's actually a lie. Because if you don't have self-love and you look outside yourself for another person to fulfill you, it won't work. It won't work. So anyways, I just wanted to say we can have self-love. We don't have to feel desperate. But let's see what this is all about anyway.
media goes, we're not required to partake in it. So a lot of that stuff simply needs to be disqualified from the social menu for most black people's lives. We're not required to watch the different shows that promote the thirsty black female syndrome, and we need to divorce ourselves from that. So as far as the media, we just need to exercise more restraint. As far as how do you eliminate that, I mean, the truth of the matter is,
I'll tell you
black men
why.
are rare. They are scarce because of the war against black men. So the
Yeah.
black woman's concern that she might not find a mate, it is a very legitimate concern
Yes.
that can't be ignored. But I think that we could help control that concern to some extent if we were to
All you have to do
organize
is date
marriage,
out.
if we were to organize dating
Date out.
in the community. That doesn't mean get involved in everybody's business, but we do need some structure that will allow women an opportunity to date without being taken advantage of, and will allow men an opportunity to date without having their characters assassinated if they don't decide to stay with that woman. So there needs to be
That
some
was
sort
so
of
gross how he
protocol in
lined
place.
that
I
up.
think it begins with the elders. I think that all brothers and sisters should go through a mandatory training program,
It's like
socialization system that prepares.
it's like he was saying that black women are really about trial and error to the black man. I mean, that's what I heard. It was like, oh, well, I'm just here for a good 5 minutes and, I will eventually leave you. Did anybody else notice that? Because let's go back.
For marriage, you just don't allow women an opportunity to date without being taken advantage of, and will allow men an opportunity
So he acknowledges that women can be taken advantage of in dating.
to date without having their characters assassinated if they don't decide to stay with that woman.
Okay,
So
and he talks about black men having their characters assassinated if they don't stay with that woman. So he's basically laying out what happens in black to black relationships. He just told us.
needs to be some sort of protocol in place. I think it begins with the elders. I think that all brothers and
And he
sisters
says,
should go
and
through a
also he
mandatory
mentioned
training
character
program.
assassination if they don't stay with the woman. I don't think it's about character assassination if he doesn't stay with the woman. I think it's about those men knowing that they have no intention of being long term, and that when black women are opening their hearts, they're doing it for the long term. So there's a kind of game going on here. There's a game going on for sure. Because he's acknowledging the players in the game and their mindset. I mean, that's just me. That's what I'm hearing.
Socialization system that prepares them for marriage. You just don't wake up and say, I want to get married, even though marriage is natural. Just like you don't just wake up and say, I want to have a baby. You need to learn how to take care of a child. So I think we need systems in place that are not there. But we suffer from radical individualism. We do not see ourselves as part of a community or a culture. We see ourselves as a plethora of individual nations. Every black person is their
No, we
own
see ourselves as
sovereign
competing
nation.
with each other.
They're not interested in linking up with another black person. We believe in this concept of privacy that I think is debilitating the black community, because we don't discuss the issues that need to be discussed, because everyone wants to stay so private, even though everyone's dealing with the same types of situations. I think that a lot of this can be alleviated. I think that black men have to be held more accountable for their dating behavior with black women, but I think black women have to be held accountable as well. I think that it's not fair for the black men to often be put as the butt or the sole person or population responsible for the failure of relationships.
He's
Being a
talking about
therapist,
polygamy?
speaking as a
Let's see
therapist,
Truth, but they're not in the same economic situation that we're in. They are not in the same social situation that we're in. So maybe it's A, legal in their country, and B, they can afford, to have. I have 3 wives, and this wife is able to go to law school, and this wife is able to do this, and this wife is able to do this because I have the financial means to sort of do these things. And I think in our country, we're not there. A, because it's illegal, and B, because we don't have the economic and social power to institute something as radical as polygamy.
I don't agree with that, because we already have polygamy. Very few men are monogamous. Black, white, rich, purple, rich or poor. We already have it in the black community. Many men have children with different women. There's many plural relationships that exist in the black community. I also don't think you have to marry the state to get married. I know a lot of people in polygamous
I'm going to say one more thing and then I'm going to shut this video. So let me ask you, you know how children, young black children, we grow up and we become adults, one of the complaints I hear over and over again, let's just be honest, people. I don't like the video looking like this on the screen. One of the complaints we hear over and over again is what? My father wasn't in the house. I grew up, my mother was a single mother. And we would actually promote polygamy? What? Okay, now some people are going to hear this and say, well, there's polygamists who live in the same household. I don't think that that's healthy for a kid. I really don't. I should just find out.
So even if you've already been infected, you'll still get a boost in your immunity from getting a vaccine. The 18 Brown children has spent their entire Christine's son Peyton was born in 1998. Like Hunter, he has taken part in the National Guard. He revealed in his Instagram stories in December 2021 that he has no interest in polygamy.
You are who you choose to be, and your decisions are on you.
When asked if he would consider the lifestyle, he said, "No, I chose not to a long time ago." He said that there wasn't one big reason why, but it was just a bunch of little things. But he did express that he was grateful for plural marriage, since he has 6 brothers/best friends because of it. Robert Garrison. Robert is Janelle's son and was born in 1998. He's very fashion forward and has his own clothing line called Bob's Floral, where he sells Hawaiian shirts, dresses, and swimwear. He has stepped back from the family, the show, and his faith, and has even joined a church that opposes polygamy. In the 2015 tell-all, he revealed that one is enough for him. Dayton. Dayton was born in 2000 to Robin and her former husband, David Jessup. In 2015, Cody adopted him. As a child, he didn't speak until he was over a year old and struggled with eating textured foods and hearing loud noises.
There was a lot of things that happened all at once.
She concluded that he has autism. She branded people like him as amazing, though they do not fit with what people categorize as normal. We need to expand our minds and hearts to see each for who they truly are, she said. Will he practice polygamy in the future? We don't know for sure. Gabriel. Janelle gave birth to Gabriel in January of 2001. He was raised in Utah and currently attends Northern Arizona University. We don't think he likes polygamy. He feels that Cody has chosen his 4th wife, Robin, and her kids over Janelle and her kids.
What?
He also feels that Cody's pandemic rules are over the top and cater mostly to his lifestyle and not to the rest of the families. Gabriel has a girlfriend now, which Cody is not pleased with because he thinks he's being way too social and putting the family at risk.
That kind of attitude is up.
Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is Christine's 4th child and was born in 2001. She came out as bisexual and has no interest in polygamy. Gwendolyn has utilized her social media platforms to advocate for the Black Lives Matter movement and the LGBTQ+ community. In May of 2021, she tweeted, "As a kid, I'd always argue. If I'm old enough to know I'm straight, then they're old enough to know they're gay. But I was apparently not old enough to know I'm queer until 17, so joke's on me." She butts heads with her father about political issues, but he respects her choice not to want to have anything to do with the plural marriage lifestyle. Aurora Alice. Aurora Alice was another one of Robin's children with her ex-husband. She's 19 and was adopted by Cody in 2015. Since then, she's changed her last name from Jessup to Brown. The stress of her parents fighting and the Browns' different moves over the years have had negative impacts on her mental health. She often suffers from panic attacks that leave her out of breath and unable to speak or walk. We feel so bad for her. Hopefully, their bickering stops soon. Isabel Page. Christine's 5th child, Isabel, was born in 2003. The 18-year-old had to get surgery to correct her scoliosis over the pandemic and was upset that Cody couldn't be there for her because of his intense social distancing rules. "I think his priorities are a little screwed up," she told the cameras through tears. And I don't want to disrespect him because he is my dad, and I understand I do. I do understand why he's doing it. It's just really frustrating and really, really hard.
This is awful.
Younger kids. As for Savannah, Brianna, Truly, Solomon, and Ariella, it may be too soon to tell for sure what they think about the polygamous lifestyle. But to be honest, if we're following a pattern here, it seems like they probably won't want to participate in plural marriage either. Janelle told ET in February that her kids haven't expressed interest in joining a plural marriage, while Christine has said that her children aren't open to plural at all. However, a lot of the younger kids seem to support the family moving into one big house so that none of them would be separated. Truly said, I think the moms are crazy, she told producers, because I want to live in one big house so we don't have to be separated. Mom, I think you're loco in the coco. So, in some aspect, maybe they're not totally against the idea of polygamy, considering they support being all together with all of their brothers and sisters. But as for the younger kids fully living out this lifestyle in the future, only time will tell. So, what do you think? Are you surprised by the kids' stances on plural marriage? Let us know in the comments below. And make sure to like and subscribe to The Things Reality to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest in reality.
See what the comments are saying. I just don't see how it's a good thing. Yeah, this commenter says the kids not wanting to practice polygamy speaks volumes. What makes a person get into that? Like, okay, guys, thanks. I just wanted to see that other video, and yeah. If you enjoyed this, if you want me to do more, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe. Bye for now.